Hey, what's up? Let me just say this. Today, I'm going to show you how to save the maximum amount of money that you can possibly save when you get ready to convert your coupe Mustang to a fastback. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be the shizzle for those of us who want to have a fastback. Well, what's up, everybody? I want to give you a quick update. I know you guys you found out that I actually tore the distal tendon to my right bicep. It slowed me down in everything that I do. It's amazing to me that, you know, I've had my left arm with me my whole life, and it's learned nothing. I mean, 53 years I've had this arm with me, and it doesn't know how to do anything, and so I'm just stuck with that. And so it's been hard to keep up with the born-again Mustang, but we're going to get back on that as soon as we can. When we made that first video about building a fastback Mustang for $6,000, first of all, there was a bunch of people who didn't believe that it was true, but so many of you have since done it, and you went by the recipe that we gave, and you found out that you can, in fact, convert a coupe to a fastback, and you can have a fastback Mustang for $6,000. The question that comes up now is, with all the changes and all the things going on with transportation and shipping costs and everything with this crazy inflation, can you still do it? And the answer to that question is, you absolutely can. I mean, absolutely can. And what I'm going to do is, I get further into this video, I'm going to share with you a relationship that has been built between myself and a Dynacorn dealer to help you guys out and get those parts that you need for your fastback. Something that I've been working on and something I've wanted to do for a while is, for many of you, in fact hundreds of you, have reached out to me and you've wanted my parts list. You've wanted that list of the parts and part numbers to make this conversion happen. I've often wondered, why don't parts dealers actually put this stuff together for you? One of the things that I've come to realize is that they don't really like dealing with the body parts on these Mustangs. Well, the problem is, for those of us who want to convert our coupe to a fastback, we're going to struggle doing it without having the body parts. But your parts dealers, for whatever reason, are making it really complex and complicated to order these parts. So the very reason why I made that first list is because I felt like that it's a no-brainer, that somebody should already be doing that, but they're not. We could make that even better. And so one of the things that I've done as of late is I have redone that list. I've updated that list, and that list now includes pictures, it includes illustrations, it includes insider information. I mean, some stuff for those who have done this conversion before, that kind of understand some of the secrets of making this happen in an economical way, in an efficient way. All that information has been put into that list. And so we have a brand new updated parts list for converting your coupe Mustang to a fastback. And I'm going to encourage you to get it. I'm going to include the link to that right here. Also, it's going to be in the description. And you can go and download that parts list. It's a $10 download. That list is infinitely better. It's improved. So when you get the list now, not only is it going to tell you parts, part numbers, illustrations, pictures, insider information, things, so that you can kind of understand what you're up against. In that list, I am going to give you some understanding of how maybe you don't need to buy certain parts if you have certain parts. And this is a great way to save you some money. You can pick, parcel and piece this thing together to a package that fits you. I'm going to continue to make lists as we go along. I have in the mix a sourcing for front-end parts. That's going to be a list that I'm going to make so that you can save a ton of money buying the front-end parts. That interior parts, I've had people ask me, what about the interior for a fastback Mustang? Man, I'm going to go through that. I'm going to create a list for you for every generation, first, second, third generation Mustang, so that you know how you can source, find, price, and purchase the interior pieces. This is a part that I think is a difficult part for some people, because here's what I'll tell you. You can't buy all the parts from one place and get the best parts and the best price by doing that. So we're gonna work together. I'm gonna help you on this thing, I promise. I made a bunch of phone calls, as I already said, to a bunch of parts dealers, and I talked to them about putting together some kind of discount for those of us who want to make these fastbacks, because we're going to order a list of parts. In fact, we're going to order a few $1,000s worth of parts at one time to convert these cars. Why not put that in a package deal where you can save some money? What I found is what I was telling you earlier, is that a lot of these Mustang parts dealers don't really want to mess with it. Some of my friends over at Lost Socket Garage, and you guys have heard me talk about them before, many of you have taken your cars to them, which is cool. I'd like to hear some of those testimonies as well. Matter of fact, make some comments. If you've used Lost Socket, what your experience was like, and that'll kind of help the rest of us know what kind of cool dudes these dudes are. But I decided to call them because they're a Dynacorn dealer. Now they're a shop. They build the cars. They buy the parts. They know how this process works. And so I reached out to them and I said, talking to Hunter over there at Lost Socket, I said, kind of run me through this process of how you guys order parts. And he ran me through it. He said, man, Scott, if you need parts or whatever, you know, we're already here to work with you. I said, well, here's what I'm curious about. I have people that follow my channel that are trying to build this Mustang. Would you be willing to put something together for them? Would you be willing to do something that helps them buy the parts they need at a discount from somebody who's hungry to sell parts, who enjoys talking to people about Mustangs, who really wants to be involved with this process, that when you have questions, these guys do this conversion on the daily. So you buy parts from them and you go, man, this filler panel on the back of this fastback, I can't seem to get the gap pinch closed. Well, let me tell you something. They know how to do it. And they'll tell you, if you don't find it on my channel, you can find it on their channel, or you can call them on the phone and say, hey, Hunter, how do I pinch this gap closed on the filler panel? Well, he's going to tell you this really cool trick about welding 2 pieces of angle iron on it and using a pair of vice grips, and pow, all of a sudden the gap disappears and it's just an insider secret. That's what you have by buying parts from them. The second thing you have is they've put together what I believe is the best pricing for these parts that you can possibly get. I'm going to give you a few examples of this, but I'm also going to encourage you to do this. In the description of this video, I'm going to have the phone number for Lost Socket. This is our kit. This is the harness kit. So if you want to buy the harness kit, first generation, second generation, or third generation, you're going to call Lost Socket, tell them that you want the harness kit, and guess what? You want the harness discount, and I'll tell you about that discount in just a second. So let me give you some pricing so you kind of understand what we're up against. 65 through 66, or 64 through 66, first generation coupe Mustang to fastback. The kit, all metal. That's including the stock, the deck lid and hinges. Now listen to this. And the quarter extensions, $7,200. That's a deal. Now, as any of you know, if you're a first generation Mustang, enthusiast, the parts for that first gen is a little more expensive than it is on some of the others. So you just have to know it's a little bit more. Now here's what's cool. It's $7,200 for those parts. They're offering you, if you put the harness discount code in, you tell them I want the harness discount, they're knocking off $200. So you go from $7,200 to $7,000. Y'all, I'm looking around. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm thinking with the discount and everything included, from the shopping that I've done, that's $500 to $600 cheaper than you're going to get that anywhere else. And you're going to get it from a group of people who enjoy selling parts, and they enjoy talking about Mustangs, and they enjoy answering questions, and they enjoy being a part of this whole process. So that's that. Now, you can upgrade that package to everything that we mentioned, all the metal pieces and parts, but also including the fold-down seat and the window glass, which if you do a conversion, I want to have you know that you have to replace the door window glass, and you have to replace the back window glass. All of those have to be replaced. The kit that includes all of that, plus the fold-down fastback rear seat, is $9,715. Now, knock $200 off of that because you're going to use the harness discount. Now, let's get to $6,768. And I'm just going to talk about this quick, and then we're going to buzz on. All the metal, including the stock deck lid and quarter extensions, $5,700. Y'all, that's a deal. When I made that first video about my Mustang, I told you that I could build that car for $6,000. At that time, this is pre-COVID, that kit from some of these other parts dealers, which are hard to deal with, that kit was about $5,800, $5,900. They're saying we'll sell it to you for $57,000. Now dig this. You're going to knock $200 off because you get the harness discount. And when you tell them you want the harness discount, you're getting this whole kit, including the quarter extensions and deck lid, which is not included in most of these packages that I see, for $5,500, y'all. That's radically incredible. And I want you to know, they said it included the drip rails. Now, I don't know of any kit that includes the drip rails. So you get the drip rails, quarter extensions, deck lid, hinges, plus all the metal parts, $5,500, y'all, to your door. That's incredible. Now, let me push pause. That does not include shipping. So let me say it. So it's not to your door. So it'd be $5,500 plus shipping. I talked to Hunter about shipping. Every parts distributor that I've talked to so far has given me this big runaround about multiple shipping. The shipping's crazy expensive. Hunter said on average it's about $600 to $700, all things delivered. And he said that they're seeing a 3-week turnaround on the majority of the kit. So you're going to get most of your parts within 2 to 3 weeks. There may be some miscellaneous parts that are not included in that. So that's better than anybody I've talked to. And again, they're going to walk you through the process. They're going to help you understand it. They're going to help you be a part of it. When you start putting it together, you got a resource. You're not talking to a person who sells parts and knows parts numbers. You're talking to people who know how to build Mustangs and make them into fastbacks. And I'm telling you, there's a difference, man. There's a difference from a dude that knows how to thumb through pages of a book or zoom through a website as opposed to somebody who knows what to have a MIG welder in his hand and how to put body parts together. 69 and 70, third generation Mustangs. So we're talking about all the metal that you're going to need for the conversion, just like all the others. Stock deck lid, quarter extensions, $7,500. With the harness discount, you're talking about $7,300. Y'all, that's a deal. I know it's a lot of talking, but here's the thing. If you're trying to put together one of these Mustangs, this is information you really need to know. And I tell people all the time, I know we want to rush in and start building something. We want to start cutting and welding, and we want to start, getting our plug welds right and all that stuff, and gapping doors and all that stuff. But I'm going to tell you, if you don't do your research on the front end, you'll start this project, and what's going to happen is you're going to leave things out, and it's going to nickel and dime you to death before you're finished with it. So it's better to know on the front end what you're up against and make some good planning and put it together than go from there. Remember, I do have the brand new updated parts list for the conversion. You can download that. I'm going to include that link in the description. It's also going to be right here. That's a place where you can get those illustrations, lots of insider information and things that you're going to want to know. Plus you get to see the part name, the part number, and you'll see it in a picture where you can understand, oh, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about that piece. And I'm going to give you, when I show you the piece in that, I'm going to give you information because I might say, hey, these typically are hard to fit. Here's some things you have to think about when you get ready to fit this piece. Whatever. It's going to have some good information in there. It's going to go further than just giving you parts and parts numbers. This is a list that's going to help you understand some things. I'm also going to discuss a little bit about shipping, a little bit about ordering the parts, a few things that you need to think about, especially for that 67 and 68 Mustang. The quarter door assemblies, buying the weld yourself models of those, it's becoming more important. One of the things that's happened as of late is the assembled quarter door assemblies. I don't know if they're getting in a rush. I don't know if they're doing something different, but those quarter door assemblies, they're not welded right anymore, and so they're messing up the measurements. You're going to want to weld them yourselves to make sure your measurements are right. So anyway, that's what we've got. I hope things are going well with you. I'm going to get you some updates on this born-again Mustang. We're going to get it running for long. We're going to do a burnout, act like a fool. It's going to be great. Until the next time we talk, I want to first of all say this. I hope God is blessing the socks off of your life, and I appreciate the opportunity to be with you and talk to you. So God bless you, and have a great time.